Hamas and like-minded organizations murder civilians and defenseless people and wage war, hiding behind civilians and children and using them as human shields. This is what Hamas, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, Al-Qaeda, Abu Sayyaf, ISIS, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad, RSF, and all of the others like-minded organizations do, as though there is a demented God above that rewards cruelty and brutality, which there is not. These murdering, sexually abusing, kidnapping, and mutilating organizations actually believe their crimes are sanctioned by a higher power. In Palestine, Hamas and their supporters want a Jew-free land from the river to the sea. Hamas showed on October 7th that what they say and write is exactly what they mean when they murdered, sexually abused, kidnapped, mutilated, and committed other atrocities against defenseless people, including babies and children. Hamas and company want a Jew-free Palestine, and the mobs in the West happily support their genocidal ambitions. The majority population of Israel, over 7 million Jewish Israelis, are not going to disappear because many in the world want what Hamas, Hitler, the Mufti of Jerusalem at the time of Hitler, and others want: Jew-free lands and the extermination of the Jews. Hamas murders children in Israel and wages war using the children and civilians of Gaza as their human shields. That is why they built tunnels for themselves to hide in, and not a single bomb shelter above ground for civilians. Children and civilians always die in war. If Hamas supporters do not want children and civilian casualties, then they need to stop supporting war, murder, and the Hamas phony resistance. The RSF Arab militias murdering, sexually abusing, mutilating black native populations in the Sudan receives no condemnation, not a single protest or riot in the West or elsewhere, in that there are no Jews to blame. Boko Haram, that murders, kidnaps, sexually abuses, and terrorizes all over North Nigeria, receives silence for the same reason. There are no Jews or Israelis to blame. Al-Shabaab, that murders and terrorizes all over Somalia and sometimes in Kenya, receives silence. Another Al-Shabaab, operational in Mozambique, slaughters civilians, commits atrocities, and receives the same indifference to their atrocities. Again, because there are no Jews or Israelis to blame. ISIS committed genocide against the Yazidis and others. Thousands of Yazidi women and girls are still held in captivity, sexually abused, physically abused, and completely helpless. Genocidal murderers can only be stopped by war. Countless civilians and children were killed in the war to remove ISIS. The killing fields of the world are many: Yemen, Libya, Sudan, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Somalia, Central African Republic, Myanmar, just to name a few places. Concern is only shown when the object of hate, a people long scapegoated and demonized, can be blamed. The mobs are full of phony compassion and phony concern about justice. They are indifferent. They are indifferent to suffering and misery when there are no Jews or Israelis to blame.